Hey guys, Brian here. Today's vid is going to be all about Halloween die cuts. If you're asking what's a die cut, it's those classic printed heavy stock paper seasonal decor items that if any kid growing up from the 40s through today remembers hanging in your classroom as a kid, or if your parents had some at home. Now most of these, many of these are Beistile and Dennison, which were two companies that started in the early 1900s and pumped out some of the greatest seasonal die cuts ever. And die cuts are some of the most beloved, sought after seasonal decor items there are. Now I'm fortunate enough through being sent some from friends over the years and having some from our old family seasonal decor, some great vintage pieces as well as some reproduction pieces and just some great new ones. Now this was from Target a few years ago. It's a great Happy Halloween banner, and it's Target for the past few years has been doing this great vintage style. Like that looks like something that could have come right out of the 1940s. I love that old style. And as a side note, let's see, those pumpkins right there are ceramic versions of the ones in that die cut. And then over here we have a classic 60s Beistile. Now these are repros. These came out a few years ago in bags at Walmart. That's the classic flaming skull and the classic old hag witch. Those are vintage repro, or repro vintage or something, of Beistile die cuts. Let's see. And as I showed you in another vid, that's my all-time favorite Halloween die cut of the classic Beistile jointed kitty cat. And these are American Greetings from the 70s. This is part of our old family Halloween decor stuff. American Greetings and Hallmark. Let's see over here. There's a, let's see, where is he? Oh, the glare. Oh, jeez. There, there's a crow on a tombstone and a witch's hat. Okay. And let's see. And my friend Michelle sent me these. These are from the 60s. They're die-cut masks. You punch out the holes in the eyes. Fortunately, I got them with the holes intact. There's a beatnik, a witch. Well, I guess those are both witches. And a skull. And that's a Mary Englebright Jack. And that's a newer die cut from a few years ago. Kind of Edgar Allan Poe-ish. And there's a classic Dennison, whoops, witch's broom is in the way, Dennison die cut bat with a honeycomb belly. And there's a newer die cut spider with a honeycomb belly. And these are great repros of old 60s or maybe even 50s Beistile die cuts. And you got to be careful, because you'll go on eBay and you'll see people selling vintage Beistile and Dennison die cuts, and they're actually reproductions, and you really cannot tell the difference unless one of them is just old and yellowed. So you got to be very careful. You can find, like, I got these in a bag of 4 for like $1.50 at Kroger's or something, so just keep that in mind. There's a newer bat. And there, up there, that's an 80s witch on her broom from our old family decor. And more Beistile little die cuts, reproductions. And there's a little sassy witch. That's new. That's a newer jack from a few years ago. And here's more Beistile reproductions. And there's another classic big Beistile jack-o'-lantern. And there's a newer haunted house. And there's a Beistile reproduction haunted house. Let's see. I hate to miss stuff. This one of the most classic Halloween decor items that ever existed. The glow-in-the-dark jointed skeleton. That's from the 60s. Beistile. That's part of our old family decor. And there's another. That's a reproduction, smaller one, Beistile. And that is an original 60s Beistile black kitty embossed. And there's a newer die cut. And there's a newer one as well. And this is one of my all-time favorite pieces. This is a Hallmark giant baddie die cut. I mean, it's huge. Like, there's my hand. Well, I can't get close enough, but it's huge. It's like 3 feet across, and it's fuzzy flocked. That's a classic Hallmark die cut. Let's see. There's a newer ghost one with a honeycomb base. Like, die cuts that have honeycomb parts attached to them are the best. Let's see here. Every time I film one of these vids, I finish it, and then I always find one thing that I've missed. There's a newer one. It's a spooky chandelier. It actually folds out in 4 pieces and hangs up, but it's so flimsy it just looks better against the wall. And let's see, one more circle around the room, because I hate when I film stuff and I miss something. Actually, I guess I actually did it. Hey! Alright guys, take care.